We got to make sure all the audio is straight before we can
Okay,
officially
test
start.
everything.
Yeah, especially with the StreamYard stuff, man. This Google Hangout was so much easier. Like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what YouTube was thinking, or I don't know. Actually, technically, I don't even know what Google was thinking. Getting rid of their own. Yeah, that's
Right.
dummies.
Exactly. Do y'all see us up live or whatever? Okay, there it is. I'm about to say.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, cause it popped up real late. That's the one thing I don't like about this. I mean, it works well, but it's just slower than. I guess it's obviously gonna be slower when you're not using a Google app for another Google app.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is kind of outside. So, um, it's been an interesting week, man. A lot of stuff been going on, and IMV decided to rear their head up again on some bullshit.
They was like, "Hold my beer. Week ain't
Right.
over yet."
Right. You think we blocking people on social media wasn't enough? We got something else for your punk ass. Episode 79 of the First and Framerates Podcast. Myself, VF Baller, Bill's fourth, DJ 81. We back again. Sports and sports gaming. This is what we do. We talk about games. We talk about sports. We talk about any other thing that's that's hot. That's not really annoying to talk about. We try to keep it honest. Try to keep it fair. We try to keep it simple, and we always try to give you the honest truth about what we feel like. Myself. I'll go off with an intro first. I'm doing good. Just been gaming, just been playing games, chilling out with my son, my wife, all just the basic stuff, family man stuff. So nothing extra here. DJ, what's been going on with you?
Nothing much. Had a nice little beach vacation for pretty much like one day, but it was nice.
Okay.
And pretty much I didn't really stay off social media, but pretty much was social media light.
Okay.
During that time, and sort of refreshed. Actually, no, I'm very refreshed. But other than that, been playing the No Man's Sky. Yeah, I was gonna get that out there, sneak it in there real quick. Been playing that No Man's Sky Beyond update that just came out. So,
honestly, how is it? Seriously, how is it?
I like it. It definitely needed that big update, but, and that's a big but. Bugs, glitches,
They're still in the game.
crashes. No. And it's not that the bugs were still in the game. It's just that with this new update, it created a whole bunch of situations. PC gamers are running rampant, saying that their game's not really, the update has been optimized, and those of us on console, the game crashes when you go into the multiplayer social, because now it has a social part of it.
Gotcha.
Like, it expanded upon it. Now it's full multiplayer, but it keeps crashing every time you go into that social hub. So they put out a fix, but every now and then it still crashes. So the usual stuff.
Gotcha. What's up, Bills? What's going on with you, man?
Man, I've been sick as a fucking dog this past week. Shit's been pissing me off because it's fucking with all my recording schedule, and it's been shitty. But I'm finally getting over it, so should be back to recording sometime this week. But God, it's been a pretty bad week.
Okay, man. Hey, listen, it's always a good time when you're here with us, man. Things will get
I don't know about all. No, let me say.
I'm about to say, especially since we're all distance apart, so no one can catch what you got, and we can go about our day.
All right, Rush, what's going on? Rush came into the chat real early, trying to see what's up. What's going on, man? Where do we begin with this lawsuit, man? I mean, I don't know. Where do we? Where do we start?
Well, hold on. Let's start with the dude that called you. What did he call you?
He called me. He said I was part. Yeah, he called me. He said I was a part of the KKK.
Well, no. He said CMAD was. He said CMAD was.
Yeah. He said CMAD was a part of the KKK, and he called me a bigot.
Yeah, he called you a bigot. That's what he called you.
He doesn't realize. He don't even know my race. So how would he? Whatever.
He said, "Let's begin with Moody endorsing it."
I know it's not even about Moody endorsing. It's like people who actually gave their money to these people. That's the problem.
$60 per person.
Yeah, I mean they get what
gave the sad part about it, and I sound like a broken record on this, but we said this many episodes ago, where it's just like they gave them money without a sniff of not even a pixel.
Yeah,
of a game.
They didn't even have they didn't have a logo. Well, they had a logo, but they didn't even have like screenshots of any
concept art was all they could muster, and you can get that anywhere.
Exactly. Well, anyway, if you know what's going on with IMV basically has been going on this whole crusade to take money from people. Basically, they say, give us money, we're going to make this game. People were sitting there, giving money away. After a while, people started getting suspicious, asking questions where this game is coming from. Where's the screenshots? Where's the gameplay? Any updates? I gave my money. I should get exclusive content. So people started saying that, look, there's no game. I want my money back. All of a sudden, people just started. IMV started blocking people. They basically was telling people to fuck off. Basically, we tried to find out where they're located. Shout out to Dollar Jr. He went by where they were supposed to be located. They're not there. Went to Atlanta, can't find them. Even CMAD tried to find them. Nobody knows anything about this company.
You just gotta look for a bean pie stand. They'll be somewhere out there.
Here we go.
Selling them nasty ass bean pies at Final Call newspapers, bro. You already know where to find them, yo.
Man, clearly. Apparently they must be in Florida, according to that lawsuit. That's out of which county? Which city? Is it in Naples or
Naples, Florida?
Yeah.
But they just said not even was a couple of months ago they were the company itself was stationed in Atlanta. So how you jump ship that quick? What's going on, Chris Thomas? Appreciate you coming through again, man.
Maybe you could find them in Men's Warehouse with them tired ass suits they were wearing.
So with all the money that they got, why would they be wearing it? I know, right?
They should be wearing tailored shit by now.
So I'm going to share the screen. This is the public statement that they came up with for the lawsuit, and apparently, as of this came out August 13th, where they came out and said basically they filed a lawsuit against, of all people, Tony Bruno, saying Tony Bruno's a racist. I'm just paraphrasing what this says, basically. I'm gonna highlight.
No one's gonna be able to read that with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it up a little bit.
Yeah, remember, right. Control and roll.
I got it. Okay, I got it. All right, so it says right here, the defendants purchased.
Here we go. You're reading again.
It said the defendants purchased BringBackGreatness.com approximately 3 years ago. And they also since offered to sell IMV the site, later published the site with disparaging, slanderous posts and imagery. So I want to see what these imagery is.
Actually, no, we already know what one of them was. It was this podcast. Oh, actually, it was one of your videos, VF.
Oh, so
on there. Yeah, the one I shared it with you in the DMs when I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, because the website had my video on it. Okay, so that website that is bringbackgreatness.com. That's right. And basically I made the video because once they started blocking people and locking they locked the Twitter account and then they shut down their Facebook page. I made a video letting people know, like, yo, this is what's going on with this game. They got $200,000 from people, and they're nowhere to be found. So apparently, he said the defendants has also engaged extensive slanderous communications, including racial epithets and postings on social media outlets, and furthermore, harassed members of management and their family. So basically, they're saying they're being harassed by saying Tony Bruno that basically.
And just to let everybody know that Tony Bruno is a screen name. It's not the actual Tony Bruno. I made that mistake and I followed the actual Tony Bruno, and there are some things about the actual Tony Bruno that do not like, and he's also a Trump supporter.
Well, so I'm glad that you cleared that up because I was thinking the Tony Bruno at one point because they were touting this as if it was.
You don't want to follow the actual Tony Bruno either. So
What y'all think about all of this, man? What are they suing for? Do anybody know? I didn't even read all of it to find out what they actually.
I mean, I guess it's what? I guess defamation and slander.
Yeah, that's basically what it is in a nutshell. What they're trying to do. But the thing is what are you, I'm like, other than the scam that they're running, what other monies are they going to lose?
Well, forget about that. How about the fact that how can you defame someone when the shit you're saying is true?
That's the basis of defamation.
Wait a minute.
It has to be proven untrue.
That's like me
that
saying
means they would have to have a game to put out.
But that's like me saying, well, V. Evan, dumbass Georgia Southern fan, and he sues me for defamation.
Right.
You are a Georgia Southern fan.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
See, that's what I thought. Broward County. That was the county I was looking at.
So wait a minute. So the guy who was tweeting me is the guy that's being sued by these people.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that until I looked at this part of the
VF putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, no, I'm
5 years later.
Yeah, I'm late. I'm not gonna lie, I'm late as shit because I had no idea because this guy's been tweeting me actually wanting to get on this podcast.
Yeah, I've been watching this one for a long time.
Yeah, he actually wants. Yeah, he said he wants to get on episode 80, and he's actually being sued by. Yep, that's episode 80. I mean, he can come through. I mean, that'll be very, very interesting. I mean, I would love to see. What are they suing for? Have anybody figured out what?
I think it's defamation and slander.
No. I know what they're complaining about, but what
you mean? How much money?
Yeah, what do they want?
What they're trying to get?
Yeah, are they asking for like money in return or what? Because that would be very ironic for you to be suing for money and you done scammed everybody else for money.
You know what
they're gonna do? They're gonna ask for money so they can actually finish the fucking game that don't exist right now.
You think they're actually going to finish the game at any point?
In their minds.
I don't think there's no game. I absolutely believe there is no game at all.
I think. I mean, I don't know. I do know this whole fucking lawsuit is a sham, though.
Hold up. Mm-hmm. Scroll back up and note under the IMV name when they talking about the lawsuit.
Oh, the lawsuit. Go down to the lawsuit. Okay,
yeah, go down to the lawsuit.
Okay.
Go down to the lawsuit. Are you okay? I was just about to say you going up, but the thing I'm looking at is delayed. All right. So underneath IMV Inc., it says a Wyoming corporation.
That's what I was laughing at because I knew that's where you was going.
So it's just like,
yo, this thing is all over the place. They're in Alabama, they're in Atlanta, they're in Florida, but this is a Wyoming. That better not be the state of Wyoming. I know that much.
I'm about to look that up now.
Oh,
because if they're an actual corporation, I need to see this.
These dudes are clowns, yo.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I don't think there's no game. I don't think there's a game coming out. I think this is just about to be some. I really think this is I think this lawsuit is a sham to basically say they're covering their tracks because the jig is up and they're doing this for stall tactics.
Okay,
that's what I think.
Here's what I've come up with on my Google search.
Okay,
Wyoming corporate corps and LLCs. They're basically most of the stuff that I've come up with are like, okay, Wyoming corporate services. Now, looking at what you're seeing on the screen, and it's just like, I don't see a Wyoming corporation.
I don't know, man.
Wyoming Secretary of State, Wyoming Business Division, Wyoming Secretary of State, Wyoming Secretary of State again, Wyoming Business Entity Search.
I don't think there's no game. I think, like I said, I think all of this is just straight up stall tactics.
And for being and possibly being fraudulent on the lawsuit, can't they be fined for that?
Oh yeah, they can be charged criminally for that. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, they can be fined for that, but then they could also be countersued after this whole thing ends up not going their way, which will be even worse.
Man, listen, just get these people back their money and go away. I mean, seriously, this is too much. I mean, we want football games. We want to play a football game. There's only, a limited amount of top quality football games we could play. We would like to have something new, but this right here is just going too long. They just need to find something else to do. They can go remake a Pac-Man or something. I mean, this is no, sir. This is just a waste of time at this point.
Remake a Pac-Man.
Yeah, I mean, sir, this is just a waste of time. I don't get it. I mean, what are your thoughts? Like, seriously.
Bro,
You can't even be serious at this point. They're not even serious about making a game. But how you expect us to be serious in our thoughts on this?
This is something that you would think couldn't get worse. Like, you thought that there would be one point where it just like fizzles away.
Right.
No. It like keeps getting worse. Like, not just day by day, but like hour by hour, honestly, for the past couple of weeks. It just seems to be getting really bad.
Or it could be easily just said, like, listen, we don't have everything that we want to make a game. We don't have this, we don't have that, so we're just gonna fall back. We'll try again another time and never be heard from again.
Bro, we could go on Twitter as the First and Framerates Podcast and say that we were making a game. And everybody will buy it. Everybody will fall for a hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, you got to think about it. People want a football game so bad, people will fall for it.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's partially them, and it's partially the sim community for being so desperate.
Not Rush. They're desperate. Over here, we know what's going on. So,
listen, we fell back once we created NWO.
We fell back.
Yeah,
eons ago.
Once NWO was created, we were done. We weren't going behind this hoping for a game to come out. We just laugh at everybody else who does it. Yeah. Paper Portal also says there probably a bunch of 20-year-olds living in their parents' basement. No, we actually seen pictures of these guys, and they look like they're in their 40s, and they look like they're ready to sell you some.
No, BF, you've seen pictures of these guys. I haven't seen pictures.
Oh, you didn't see the pictures?
Oh, you didn't see them?
You didn't see them? So they had a picture. It looked like these niggas are straight out of Nation of Islam.
Oh no. Okay, I thought you was talking about like the people that are desperate for the game, not the actual people pretending to make a game.
No, we were talking about.
No, I remember seeing it. I remember one time they had a picture. They looked like they were broke as hell, and then next thing you know, they had like these red suits and whatnot. So yeah,
they should have said. Said thanks for your money, suckers. We ended up spending it all at Nordstrom.
They look like. I tell you what, that after photo looked like they came straight out of a P Diddy music video.
They look like the niggas that fake jump Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, they do. They really do. No, they really do. But no, man, like it's just got to the point they just need to just go and find something else to do. Like I said, I think once everybody realized that the jig was up and people started complaining, then that's when they filed this lawsuit just to stall. Because even if everybody was complaining, the last thing you would want to do is do something like this. You would try to appease and satisfy the people who gave you their money. Like say, look, we're going to show you this, even if it's a little bit of nothing, just show something to say that, hey, we got your money, but we still working hard to do this. But they do stuff like this. What about the people who gave their money to these people? Did they use that money that they gave to file this lawsuit?
If I stole somebody's money the way they did, I wouldn't be out here making up lawsuits and shit. I would try to stay under the radar.
Exactly. Rome Russ says the sim community is lunch meat to scammers like IMV, EA, and these YouTubers making Madden Broken. Listen.
Well, we done been over that Madden Broken video.
We already been there, but
last week.
But listen.
MVVs.
Listen, remember that game that Big Play Killer said that was supposed to be coming out?
What game?
And then, exactly. Remember the,
what game?
And then you turn around and you had Damon Groh.
Oh,
then you turn around, you got Cal. Now you got this.
Hey, no. He's not Cal on this podcast. He's Smoothie Queen on this podcast.
Smoothie Queen. Yo, but seriously, he's right though. The sim community will eat up anything. They'll eat up anything that shows a little bit of a football game.
We're gonna get to that, Izzy. We definitely gonna get to that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna get into that. Matter of fact, we might jump on that next. But definitely, it's like, where do we go? Well, I ain't gonna say where do we go. What do you think IMV is gonna go from here? You think they're really gonna drag this lawsuit out and just because you got to think about it when they do this lawsuit? The defendants have they have the luxury of discovery, and when they have the luxury of discovery, they can find out exactly what IMV Gaming was doing. By law, they have to give up. They have to give up everything that they've done to show that, hey, these guys are slandering us because this is what we're doing.
It's gonna get really ugly, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because when they actually show this is what we're doing, and they only got a trapper keeper with some paper and some
trapper keeper. A trapper keeper.
They have a trapper keeper with some papers and some crayons of a helmet. Then everybody gonna know, like, look, this is where $200,000 went. What's going on?
You know they're gonna do.
On, Izzy?
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna ask Cal to borrow his game in court.
Yo, they're better off with the trapper keeper, yo.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because isn't Cal borrowing all audio from EA anyway?
He
already borrowed the game.
Yo, they're better off with the trapper keeper and the crayons, bro.
I told you a long time ago, them niggas just need to make a restaurant called Smoothies and Bean Pies. They'll make all the money they need to make. Because right now, football gaming is not where it's at for them.
You got to think about it. If they walk in court with that Kyle Anderson footage talking about this is what we've been doing for the
people. See that ball bouncing the whole boy's head.
Yeah, it bounced through his legs, behind his back, into his chest. Oh, my God. What's going on, King David? King David says, anyone who gave money to IMV after Joe Montana shit show deserved to lose their money. I'm sorry, I can't feel bad for someone who get scammed by these guys. I agree.
Yeah,
I totally agree. I mean, if you decide to give your money after what happened with Damon Grow, you deserve every little bit of what you get.
Like they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, but these people like being fooled over and over and over again. So.
Because I guess in their head they feel safe saying, "Well, I wasn't the only one that was tricked."
Well, I just look at it like this. After a while, I don't feel sorry for people that give their money away like that. I'm like, they talk about save 65. I'm like, well, maybe you should have saved 65 on a game that didn't exist.
Wait, he said, "I can't believe you guys got Madden 20 on the box versus the 4." What do you mean?
Huh?
I got it on PC.
Oh yeah,
I got it. Yeah, I got it on Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
DJ and VF both have it on PC.
Yeah, that's what he's probably referring to because he sees the icons. He think we got on Xbox. No, but on PC it automatically defaults to the Xbox icons.
Fife, don't you got an Xbox?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Fife's like, shh.
Rush
Fife, don't be exposing my pockets, man.
Rush said people are frustrated as hell. Just buy Madden, use and other tactics to give you. I mean, seriously, not give EA money. Excuse me. Okay, that was a typo. But my thing is, I'm not even out to buy Madden. I got it on PC with the EA Access Origin Act. That you get so much other games with that the $15 a month. So it's not necessarily just about I'm buying EA Access for Madden. I mean, there's so many other games you can play. So. Basically, when you look at the dynamic of every game you can get on Origin Access, you're probably paying maybe what DJ, maybe 35 cents for Madden.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because you're getting like 40-something games for $15 a month.
That sounds like what I paid for my PS4 Pro.
Right. So if you're paying getting 40 games for $15, I mean, who's out here still talking about save 65 when you get that deal?
Well, the people out here talking about Save 65 are the ones that are having these clowns make them money on YouTube,
or giving money to IMV and so they can hope for a game,
or giving money to Mutt while saying Save 65.
If anything, throughout this whole saga, the main red flag should have been they actually did announce a studio that they was going to be working with, and what happened? Nothing.
Yeah, but see, in the lawsuit, well, I ain't gonna say in the lawsuit.
That was a while ago, right?
Yeah, and it was gonna be with the game with the company that's doing they make the lacrosse game, or they make something of that nature.
Right.
No, but they never announced that weren't working with them. All of a sudden, it was just like, well, we're still in talks with different studios. I'm like, hold on. We were just talking to a studio that had announced that you guys had linked with this studio, and now all of a sudden, a year later, all of a sudden, you're still talking to studios to potentially make your game. Bullshit.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens.
All right, now.
Oh,
Well,
no,
let's jump into Madden because I see people talking about it.
We're about to get into it now. I think in the coming months, I'll say at least by the end of the year, we're probably going to see where this lawsuit goes, and
they're going to drop the lawsuit.
Knowing them, I would not be surprised, but also knowing them, I wouldn't be surprised to continue to go forward with this bullshit. But we'll be here to talk about it.
They have plenty of money from the community to continue to pursue it.
Right. So, all right. So we're going to jump over sports gaming leaks. We're going to talk about Madden 23 weeks later. The game came out August 2nd or August. Well, it came out August.
Yeah, August 2nd.
But we had it earlier because that's why I put 3 weeks later because we had it like a week before.
Yeah.
So, the game is out. We've been playing it. I know it's still kind of early. Might be somewhat of a honeymoon phase. What are y'all thoughts about it? Y'all still playing it? Y'all still getting it in? I know Izzy said he still loves it. He's playing. He said in the chat. So,
I mean, I genuinely love the game. The only issue I'm finding is the more that I find myself like beating zones with certain concepts, I end up going in a replay to kind of see what happened. And God, some of the footwork and reaction times for these players in zone are like awful. And that's not just on default. I mean, this is after adjusting ratings for zone coverage.
I think the zone coverage definitely needs some help because I mean, if you're playing with one team like I am, and I mean, you're not going to see it, but once you play with, like you said, different concepts, you play against what this defense would do against that. Like some of these zones, some of these players just don't adjust to what's going on. They'll just literally stand there.
That's what I'm saying. Because my thing is, like, I've had my sliders pretty much, they've been the same for a good portion of the past 2 weeks. And what ended up happening was today, I was playing against the Rams. And you know the Rams have some ball hawks in their secondary. Like
right.
Aqib Talib and Coleman's also a ball hawk at times. And obviously Marcus Peters jumps everything. And when I saw them like backing into coverage, and cover 3 is like really the only zone that works on this game pretty much.
Yeah, cover 3.
Yeah. So it's like I don't even care what happens in cover 2 because I already know it's broken. But when in cover 3, a guy like Marcus Peters sees the ball leave a quarterback's hands, and he still just stands there, and then he'll make a reaction like seconds later after the receiver already has a feet on the ball, or just the footwork, like the steps that they'll take in the wrong direction, pursuing the ball in the air, just little things. I've actually found a fix the whole time we've been streaming here, and it actually has to do with the speed parity, sadly. But even then, it doesn't perform the way it's supposed to, so it's still. I mean, and see, that's the thing, Gamer Champ. Yes, DBs take false steps, but not 3 and 4 times in a row, not 3 and 4 plays in a row, and not guys like Earl Thomas and Marcus Peters and guys like that. It doesn't.
I'm glad you said that because I on my franchise series, you can clearly see where there's different players have better abilities and they get off the ball better. Like when I showed Julio Jones versus another receiver, he was getting past him off the break. The DBs, not the safeties, but the cornerbacks just couldn't do nothing with Julio compared to Mohamed Sanu. For some reason, the safeties don't have that type of differentiation. Like everybody just have rocks for brains for some reason.
And the cornerbacks in cover 3 too. I mean, the cornerbacks. Like, here's the thing. So with the shallow zones with the cornerbacks, they're fine. But we're finding the same problems with the deep zones that the safeties had with the cornerbacks.
Right.
Because I'm in practice mode right now, and I'm playing against the Rams, and I'm using the Patriots. And basically, I've been running the same play because this is how I can see exactly what the issues are. So I'm having the Rams run random cover 3 concepts, and I'm running corner strike, which is basically the 2 slot receivers run flat routes, and that will make the flat zone, well, not the flat zone, but the zone that's playing in the slant area, it'll make them adjust to the flat zone. So that then, of course, the cornerbacks that are both playing in cover 3, they're bailing, obviously. I want to see how they react to the corner route because now I have time to throw it. So what I'm seeing is they're not reacting to the ball being thrown, even though they're staring at the quarterback. The only one that works is match because match basically turns into man. And then
and that's one thing about this game. The man coverage is phenomenal in this game.
Right. So it's like when match turns into man, it works. But every other cover 3 concept, the cornerbacks that are bailing, they act like if another route's not coming in their area, they just kind of stay put in their zone, and they end up not jumping routes that they should be jumping. Like if there's no route that's holding you there, you need to come down and be accountable for this corner route. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, that's football.
Oh yeah, I got you, DJ. What are your thoughts about the game 3 weeks later?
3 weeks later, I'm playing No Man's Sky Beyond.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know, huh?
Yeah. I still play it like every so often. I did recently get through one game of franchise where I was in the regular season. I was so mad that I didn't. That for PC, because when you exit out of the game, you have several options. You have quit to menu, quit to desktop. I think I accidentally hit quit to desktop, and it didn't. And it was a beautiful game that was being played.
Oh, no.
There was some shenanigans that did pop up in the middle of it. But it was like I wound up winning. I beat Philly in the season opener in Philly 27-24. And they had the lead at one point, but I was able to shut it all down.
Mm-hmm.
But to have that go to waste as not being saved, and this was a cloud save, by the way, a cloud franchise. So it didn't even save when it was transferring out. I looked away from the screen. All of a sudden, I'm looking at my desktop with the app closed down. I'm sitting there like,
you got this look like what the hell happened?
right. And with the amount of time I put into it, because I played 15-minute quarters with it, and I know with the 15-minute quarters having accelerated clock, play clock down to about 14 seconds. Mm-hmm. So I've been getting a good pacing from that, and to have that go to waste, I don't even feel like replaying the game. So, and I don't even know if I want to do the force win, force loss type thing. I'm just gonna sim it. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. People get hurt, whatever. I'm like Adrian Peterson got hurt towards the end of the game. I had to rely on Geis and Thompson. Thompson had a beautiful game, combined 150 yards total. He was dicing Philly up. I was hitting screens. I hit Thompson out the backfield on the flat routes. Ouch, man, they couldn't stop Thompson. I mossed Zach Brown with Jordan Reed. And
that guy's a problem. I was playing him in my preseason game, and that guy's. I got sick of watching him catch balls on us. I got sick and tired of that. He's nice.
So real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Romy Rush says, I enjoy Madden. Let me ask, why is the internet saying it's trash?
It depends on which internet you're looking at.
Well,
because
I'm gonna tell you right now.
It is according to what crowd you either look at or tend to focus on.
No, I'm gonna give it a very broad answer to that, and this could sum up everything. If the game looks like last year's game, and the game from last year looks like last year, a lot of people are going to automatically say the game is trash. A lot of people don't even play it. A lot of people don't even want to try to play it. It's cool for them to bash the game because it's the only NFL game out there. The game could be good, but they will do that because 2K or whoever else is not making a game.
Well, and then the other thing is the fact that the folks who haven't played it are listening to folks who have played it and are pushing an agenda that says the game sucks. For example, like a lot of people are putting stock into these player reviews that, 2.5 and all that bullshit. You can't put too much stock into it because when you look at the reasoning that they're giving, the reason they're giving those harsh scores can be not based on the totality of the game. It'll be based on
they're mad. They
one mode.
Yeah, they could be mad because franchise mode is not as good as 2Ks.
Right, like, oh, franchise mode is garbage. The game's a 1. It's like,
right.
No,
why they still got loot boxes in for MUT? Game's a 1.
Like, do you even play MUT? No, but still, fuck that game. It's a 1.
Yeah,
like,
or the fact that EA is a hated company. A lot of people just go straight in. Listen, y'all got to understand. People on this podcast here, people that's in our circle, people that in the chat, we play Madden to play football. A lot of those people who take the time to run the Metacritic, people who take the time to just run and play on Twitter all day and talk about the game, they're not about the X's and O's. Because if they are, one or two things will happen. If they're about the X's and O's, that means that they know that there are problems and they're trying their best to fix it so they can have their football fix. Or two, they're just saying like, yo, the game is not good for me. I'm just going to leave it alone and play something else. No, you have the people who take the time. A lot of people who take the time to make these bad scores, they literally just want to see the company go down. I'm not saying that the game is warranted. It's not warranted of a bad score. That's people's opinion. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like we know where this opinion comes from. It's not. Listen, you get the game. You bought it on EA Access. You get it 4 days before everybody else. You play the game, and 1 day later, you're going to make a review saying that the game sucks?
Well, part of it is the timing, and the other part is how you voice your displeasure about the game. Like, the way you go about it. Like, for example, me. I'll keep going back to this 2K19 example. I can easily say, after a while, I stopped playing 2K19, right? At the same time, if I'm going to go and give a review, I'm not going to start out by saying 2K19 is trash. This game has no type of redeemable qualities. Because when you come out and say something like that, you have to look at the people around you that are also playing the game that might have said it was bad. They didn't say the game had no redeemable qualities. So for you to say the game has no redeemable qualities means it had no reason to be released in the first place. And that's where I think it's like we talk about a gray area. There's no gray area out here.
I think the game has its issues. I think the game has its problems. There are some things that are in the game that shouldn't be there. You have clipping, morphing, people doing crazy stuff on the field. Every game has that. Yeah. But for people to sit there and say that this game, it happens that bad, there's no way that this game have that frequent of problems. I mean, we said this last week, you know.
And also to rate this year's Madden a 2, there's certain scores I can look at and say, fine, you want to rate it a 5, fine, 6, fine, 7, okay, 8, maybe. Once you start getting to either 10 or 4 as your scores, I think there's something wrong with you. And I think you aren't a reliable source to go to if somebody said, you know, should I buy this game? And I don't think a person that rates this game a 4 or a 10 on both sides, I don't think they're reliable.
No, I think like we said in our review, 7.5. If you want to go as low as 7, maybe 6.5, okay.
Even a 5.5. If the franchise mode is so bad, right?
No, don't even say franchise mode. Just say the game
buy. But I'm saying if franchise mode is that bad and that's what you buy the game for, and you see that the franchise mode is really bad, but you can accept the fact that they made strides in gameplay, then fine. A 5 is actually warranted. But once you start getting a 2 and, you know, even if people rate it a 10, like there's nothing that can be changed, you know, that's where shit gets out of hand.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think even with the problems, the game plays a good. It plays a good game of football. And, you know, you got people on Twitter want to go back and forth with you and saying, well, why the NFL stars saying this? I mean, it's the same reason why your grandma say something. This is an opinion.
Why did the NBA stars say that they're not going to play 2K this year after seeing their rating?
It's the same thing.
It's the same shit.
And then all of a sudden, Keenan Allen was on that board, and when they fixed Keenan Allen, now he got the game.
Right, he shut up real quick.
And so it really has nothing to do with the quality of the game. You just want a number by your name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
but that's the thing though, is like when you really look at it, the players that were saying ban, like boycott 2K, they weren't really gonna boycott 2K. They were saying it because they were outraged and they wanted people to see their tweet. If their rating got fixed, they were on it the next day. So the people who just love to see how garbage or love to hear how garbage Madden is yearly, of course they jumped on it like, see, such and such is jumping onto my agenda. Like, no, that's not how it works. They were doing it for a reason. They wanted their rating to go up. They didn't give a fuck whether you bought the game or not.
Right. They just want to look good in the game, so when they take the game home, they can show their kids, hey, look, Keenan Allen Jr., I'm an 88.
Right, Daddy's an 88, Daddy in a 79.
Right, it has nothing to do with, I want 2K to come back. They just saying that.
They don't care about that shit.
Right.
They have way too much shit going on there. They play football in real life. They're going to give a fuck about a video game? Get out of here.
All right, exactly. Let's see. Let me look at some of these people in the chat. Ralph says he's behind on the stream, but some people paid up to $250 for IMV.
Dummies.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah, King David says that Madden has issues. He probably played this game more than the past few Maddens. Okay.
I'm interested in who this Ralph is. He said he read all 26 pages of the lawsuit.
Oh, wow.
So he's saying that they're crying about mean tweets. I guess EA and all other companies can sue gamers who criticize them and call EA crooks, etc.
I mean, my thing is, after putting out that tweet I put out about Kobe Covington, I'm pretty sure I could be suing a bunch of motherfuckers.
Okay, let's go back one more time. Ralph says the only racial epithet in the suit is calling their investor some Egyptian guy. You know what? listen. You know what? I want this lawsuit to go forward. I need to see Discovery. Where's that guy? Bring Back Greatness 1. I'm gonna either talk to him. He needs to come on this. He might not need to come on.
You know what?
He might not need to come on the podcast because the case is pending. He might say something that.
He can't. Yeah.
Right, but I need him. If he's listening, make sure this case go forward because we need Discovery. I want to see what the fuck these guys are doing because once they say that they're suing this guy, they need to come up with the reasons why he's lying. And if y'all show us, like I said, that Trapper Keeper with the crayon paper.
That's such an 80s.
It is such an 80s line.
Right. No, but King David says that he wants to see a reverse civil suit. You don't necessarily have that.
That's what I said.
No, I'm saying you don't really need that when they're suing you because they have to show on their end that whoever they're suing is lying. So when they actually show what they have, then everything's gonna come out anyway.
Well, I mean, if what Ralph is saying is correct, and Tony's site is just basically exposing them for what they said themselves, they have nothing on them.
That's what I'm saying. I read it, and that's what I saw.
Right. I mean, shout out for my video on the website. That's pretty cool.
Well, I saw that too.
Yeah, but anything else y'all got as far as Madden 20 3 weeks later? We're gonna keep that rolling. We're gonna do like a month, maybe 2 months later. You know, because they did a patch, but the patch that had nothing to do with gameplay. So Judgment Day really doesn't. Judgment Day is really not until that gameplay patch starts.
The one thing I will say, if you're gonna fix zones, please don't touch anything else.
Yeah, because I know somebody said that the zones were tethered to pass trajectories or something. I think NYK said that or something.
I thought it was player
I don't
reactions.
think that's true.
I don't think it's. I think I can't say it was Kia for sure, but somebody said it. That it was tethered.
I've been breaking it down like basically all day, not all day, but good portion of the day. And what I'm finding is the sliders are fucked up again. So the reaction time, if you put it higher, they do dumber shit. If you put it lower, they do smarter things. But then the coverage also plays hand in hand to that because if you put the coverage too high, then they end up doing stupid shit. And if you put it too low, then they never like they'll get. Here's the thing: if you put the coverage really low, like if you put it on like 0,
Mm-hmm.
they'll get to the play, but they won't have the impact of like knocking the ball out. So they'll be there, but
Mostly,
they won't be able to really affect the play. They'll just be in position. So it's kind of like catch 22 right now.
yeah, this is what I learned about the sliders in general, and I learned this ever since I was doing my NCAA 14 sliders.
Mhm.
Anywhere between 30 and 35 is where the AI actually has a human brain.
Yes.
So they will actually read and react
Mhm.
no matter what. I ain't gonna say if you put on rookie, obviously.
Mhm.
Pro, yeah, they may have a little, dumb little, moments. All pro and Madden, or all pro, all Madden, or all American, or Heisman,
Mhm.
you put it on that setting, and if you put it around 30 or 35, maybe even 40, that's when they act like they actually have to see what's in front of them before they react. So I think that's where if you put it on 0, they do nothing. If you put it on 100, it's like they just in hyper mode where they just do all kind of crazy stuff.
But I'll give you another thing I noticed. So with the quarterback accuracy, if you put the quarterback accuracy too low, they'll do some of the dumbest shit. They'll throw the ball off their back foot in the triple coverage. Anything for them to get to that desired number that a user would want to see for incompletions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the issue then becomes they stop scrambling. They'll stop scrambling in the middle of taking off just to throw the ball in the coverage, just because they want to support the slider setting that you've made. Now, as soon as you break that 30 threshold, then they go back to kind of playing the way a human would play. So it's like VF said, 30 is like the magic number for damn near every slider on this game. Even pass blocking, run blocking. The only thing I would say would be interceptions. I've actually raised it.
No, yeah, interceptions have to be. I'm only speaking for NCAA 14. Interceptions has to be up to anywhere around 55, 50.
Yeah.
And I know that
Especially this year.
And pass accuracy for NCAA, you had to put it if you want to actually move the ball with the left thumbstick, you have to put it down at least 10 to 15. That's where you get the accuracy. The accuracy is so bad, you have to lead the ball yourself, which is a lot of people wish they could do that. They used to do that in older games, but if you want just regular accuracy, I'll say around maybe 30, 25.
But
then bad quarterbacks will really show their ass then.
But the other thing that's crazy is because of how like I guess they've dumbed down the coverage from jumping so many routes this year. Now you kind of have to put the interceptions up even higher because now the guys that should be going for picks are kind of just batting the ball away. And like I've seen several times where my linebackers ball be thrown right at them and they'll go into this animation where they bat the ball down. I'm like, no, just pick it off.
Right.
So I've actually put it up to 60. The only fear with that is obviously getting dragged into, the 2-player animation. So I'm watching that. But like I said, overall, I mean, the game is still good.
That's another thing you have to deal with when you put pass coverage too high. They'll be suctioned in animations too.
Yeah.
That's been going on since Madden 18.
Which this year it's pretty much minimized no matter where you put it, thank God.
But it was bad in 16. I know in 16 and 18 it was real bad.
They just need to get these sliders in order. Because I think the point that they don't know what the hell they're doing with the sliders.
Yeah,
they don't know what they mean.
Just like Pete said they're lazy. The problem is we did an episode on this a while back. Madden sliders unexplained. They never talk about the sliders. I don't even know if they even touch them.
They don't know. They have no idea what they do, VF. These sliders have done the same thing for years. Like you could literally port your slider set from 3-4 years ago. The game will play the same way in certain areas, especially coverage. Right. Because coverage is basically gone untouched.
Right, like I said, Madden sliders unexplained. Nobody knows what they really do. We have to fend for ourselves out here. That's why, to be honest with you, that's why you have 50 people making sliders every year.
Yes.
As a community, we should have one collective slider set that we all can use for a simulation community. It should not be 4, 5, 6, 7, 25, 30 people making the slider set say, hey, use Bills. Hey, use Neos. Hey, use Charters.
How about
I don't knock them for it. I don't knock nobody making them, but if they were more explained, we wouldn't have to do all of that.
Or how about 2K where every slider you pretty much know what it does. If you wanted to go in, you wouldn't have to ask me, "Hey Bills, what does the dribbling slider do?
Yeah,
What
but see, that's
does
the thing, even
such and such?" It's
the
like,
thing,
dude.
the thing about 2K though, at least they tweak their sliders for us. Like if you want to play simulation, arcade, casual, that if you change that mode, all the sliders would move to that mode for you. You don't have
NHL
to
does the same thing.
NHL
right,
does the same thing.
NHL does it as well. So, on the scale of 1 to 10, the gameplay patch that comes out. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad are y'all dreading this? Because NYK already said he's dreading it. King says he's holding he's dreading it as well. So I'm giving it about a 7 that I'm dreading it. I'm kind of worried about it, to be honest.
I'm at a 9 because for me, last year I went months without playing the game after they did their initial patch. So
That one patch that killed real player movement, I was done. I stopped
yeah, that was
Yeah.
inexcusable.
What about you, Bills?
I'm honestly at a 5. I'm confident that they will stay put because a lot of the reactions that they've made early on to the game have been more so catered towards us, who are the more open-minded, not the people who went 2 days playing the game and automatically said that something needed to be tweaked. And I think that they're finally steadfast and they understand that they've made a good game. And I don't think that they'll go too far away from what they have right now. Of course, I could be wrong, but I just think this year might be different.
But Doug Thomas says it's a 10, that he's worried. NYK said a real player movement. That first patch destroyed the game. Rush also said they broke 19 with patches.
RPM has never been God, it's awful this year. It's awful for the ball carrier, not so much for, I guess, it's more so noticeable when you have the ball for a sustained amount of time, like running back a kick or a running back. Not so much with the receivers, but God, I mean, the running back RPM from where it was at launch last year to where it is now, it's like a travesty.
All right, what's going on today, 52? Appreciate you coming through. Doug Thomas said they hope they stay put. I hope so too, even though one of my biggest pet peeves about the game so far since the running animations are fucking horrible in this game. Has anybody else noticed that?
Yeah.
The running animations are terrible. Like the running animations was really good in what, Madden 16? No, was it 18? Madden 18. The running animations was really good, and they haven't been the same since. I
like the straight line running animations. I don't like the lack of foot planning.
I don't like the stride that they take. The stride that they take when running just looks so weird.
I think the quarterbacks are worse.
Yeah.
I think the quarterbacks stick out a lot more, like as far as how bad it is, because they get into this really low, like weird stance where you would never see anybody running like that.
Yeah.
And I think the other ball carriers don't really get into that stance. So I actually like the animations that they've added this year.
It's kind of a squatty type run when they run. It just looks weird.
It's only the quarterbacks for me, though. I haven't with the other animations that they've added in for the position players. I really like them actually for the skill position players.
Yeah, I think the game where it is, it's in a good space. They need like Russ just said, tune the zones will be fine. Everything else we can manage and we can shift through. We can deal with those type of problems, but the zones do need to be fixed. I just hope nothing else breaks on the back end of that. Yeah. And we'll do this a couple weeks later, maybe a month later, how we feel about Madden 20, because everybody says by September, October, everybody's gonna put the game down.
And
hopefully we could prove them wrong, you know.
And here's another caveat, just before you go, DJ, just real quick. The one last thing I'll say is, based on what 2K is coming with this year, go ahead and fuck up if you want to, man. It'll be Madden 19 all over again. I will delete the shit from my console and move right on to 2K.
Speaking of 2K, DJ, you got anything else for go?
No, I have nothing else.
Speaking of 2K, I got this thing up here, sports gaming leaks, and the reason why I put that up there because a lot of people are leaking this off-brand. So all of a sudden, everybody got these high-powered cell phones that they want to show off, but when they come up with this 2K footage, it's all blurry in 160p.
Wait, hold on. Add one more thing. not only that, but now all of a sudden they're allowed to take this footage, and 2K is not flagging any of these videos.
Man, we
Matter of fact,
already knew this is calculated marketing.
They're sharing. They're actually
Leaks,
sharing the
quote.
videos.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, the reason why I got this topic up is there any valuable information come from the leaks? Not necessarily the stuff that's put out on Twitter as far as what we learn about the game, but I'm talking about these bullshit ass leaks with these flip phone cameras that look like they're using
cameras.
I'm serious, like you can barely see.
Polaroid
Like,
cameras.
all of a sudden, everybody, like, all of a sudden they're shaking. The phone is moving all over the place. You can't see nothing. And is it valuable? Is it needed?
I
Do we
think
care?
I think it really depends. Right now, since we pretty much know the marketing teams behind all these leaks, allowing these leaks to occur. Once it got to that point, then they became valid. Other than that, beforehand, it was all bullshit. So,
No, I hate that shit. I'm tired of looking at somebody with their phone. All of a sudden, they got Vaseline on the camera lens. You can't see shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is the scoreboard, and the scoreboard you can barely see. You only can see the numbers. You can barely see what team's playing unless you really look. I don't like the leaks personally. I mean, I'm not saying that don't leak them, but if you're going to leak it, make it look like something, because you quick to show off the nasty ass food you're eating the night before. That's clear as day. But as soon as you put the 2K footage up, you can't get your phone act right.
Well, I'll say this. When you're in an environment, and I've experienced this, like going to sporting events and such, I guess when you're in an environment that's kind of lively, so to speak, your photography skills aren't the greatest, which is still no excuse for some of the horrible, just downright garbage videos we've gotten. But, you know, there were a couple that were bearable. I think the worst issue, I think we really need to question is, who are these fucking scrubs playing the game?
Well, and that's been going on for years.
Every year.
That's been going on for years.
You get these basketball illiterate idiots that get the game and they don't know how to stay in front of anybody. They play off-ball defense more than on-ball defense. They run out of bounds by themselves. They take stupid shots. And you don't really get to see how much the game has improved because you're watching two idiots who have never touched a basketball in real life play the game. Or at the very least have never played 2K. So from my experience of just watching these videos, I've noticed a couple things that are encouraging. It looks like the sliding may be gone for the player movement. Fingers crossed. It looks like the dribbling animations are more fluid, and on top of being more fluid, they're more tailored towards the person's dribble rating. I mean, there's a couple of other things, but you can't really put too much stock in that footage, like you said. There's just a couple of things you can kind of pull from it.
Like I said, I think it's valuable. I think it's valuable.
We have to wait. So
I think it's valuable if the footage actually looks like something. I just can't stand somebody over the shoulder. They got the low quality filter on. You just can't see. At least make it look clear. You know, DJ, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I thought I went first on my.
Man, I ain't paying attention. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm the one that's kind of half and half on this football game right now.
Shit, I ain't paying attention. Shit, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't have a problem with the leaks. Like I said, they just need to be clear and concise. Let people see what the fuck you're shooting.
I think the information that's been coming through words on Twitter has been a lot more useful than anything I've seen on video.
Well, I mean, I put it like this. When you look at 2K and they know what happened with Live 20, this is why you're getting all this information. If Live 20 was still on the up and coming out, 2K would be quiet all of a sudden. You know, I mean, it's
because we're apparently supposed to be getting a crazy fucking influx of gameplay on Monday, according to the one and only the one and only Mr. Sensitive Czar himself, saying that there's going to be a bunch of gameplay because apparently there's some community day today, and everybody's going to play the game, and I guess
Now,
it's going to be a
mind
bunch
you,
of games. Then apparently there's some new mode that is being revealed, and
now, mind you, now 2K never used to give out gameplay almost damn near to the week of the game released.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
now they're like, we don't got no type of competition. I don't give a fuck how the game look. Here you go.
right, exactly.
Pretty
We don't
much.
care. We don't care if this is the only ad campaign through leaks. Because can't leak a game if it doesn't exist.
Hey, how many
Yeah.
videos we see at EA Play compared to the amount of videos we've seen in one day of 2K?
Mm.
It's crazy. It's like staggering.
Exactly.
So,
What else y'all got? I mean, anything else y'all want to add with 2K? I don't.
I have nothing
I
with
pre-ordered
2K.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
you
something with
pre-ordered?
NHL. They just dropped in their franchise mode trailer.
Bills, wasn't you saying that you didn't give a damn about this stuff?
yeah. Okay. Let me get to that.
No. Let DJ run, man, because I want to hear
No,
about
I just want to get into it real quick. I'm not gonna get into a whole spiel because we talked.
Yeah, we
about it.
already did that in the DMs.
But basically, this is what I'll say. I have never been a hater of the NHL franchise mode, much like I've never been a hater of the NBA 2K franchise mode. So, like, the modes that I'm not really too worried about, like, I kind of know what they're giving me, and, like, I know that it's going to be a really good offering. I kind of tend to stay away from because I'm waiting to hear what they've done with the defensive AI. If I don't enjoy playing the game, then I kind of don't really care what you do with franchise mode. That's my only thing.
Right.
I mean, now look, if I see gameplay that is like, okay, maybe they've done something with it, then I'll read the franchise mode, notes. But I'm getting it on EA Access anyway, so I don't really have to go and read about it. I can just dive into the mode and see what they did if they didn't overhaul the defensive AI. But that's really something that is a pressing issue because, God, I mean, how many times did we work on this last year, DJ? I mean, damn it, a whole cycle.
I'm like
All-Star to Pro to All-Star, All-Star to Superstar, Superstar back to Pro. It's like,
well, but the thing for me is that I think I was able to remedy that because I would go in to the line strategies and adjust the AI tendencies within those. And for the franchise mode, each individual coach will have their AI tendencies different. I don't know if that was the case with the non-existent coaches and trying to put the teams according to what the developers thought that's how they played on the in the real game. I don't think that matched, and I think by their sliders being set certain ways, I think it affected the defensive AI very much because when I went through and I did the changes and stuff like that, my defense was playing. I'm not going to say they were top notch, but they didn't seem to have rocks for brains. They were where they would need to be according to what the slider I set.
Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Y'all keep going.
All right.
But see, and the thing with me was it's similar to 2K.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, it was never my team. It was always the CPU's team. Like, why are you doing that? Like I get that every team has their strategy as far as whether they're going to, just guard the net or if they really want to get the puck off of your, best puck handler as soon as he gets it. And it's similar to FIFA where they have the strategy as soon as the other team gets the ball, you automatically try to win it back. So obviously, there are strategies like that. But I was just thinking as far as like the base level of fundamentals of defense that I've seen in hockey that prevent guys from carrying the puck so deep in the zone constantly, I just didn't see it last year. Similar to 2K where it's like, obviously every team has their own base help defense fundamentals, but when I see like simple shit not being respected, that's when it's like, fuck, like that kind of is game breaking to me because I found myself just constantly carrying the puck into the zone. Then we also talked about how many open ice hits there were, which was part of the problem of them not knowing how to position themselves between you and the net to cut you off.
And I was able to remedy that too.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of those things, they're valid points, and and taking the time to find the perfect, like tuning like with that, a lot of open ice hits seemed like they were tuned into the aggression. So like when I had the aggression, I got it to the point where like, I got it to the point where I didn't have as many open ice hits, egregious open ice hits. Like there are going to be open ice hits, but they're not. But and what I was seeing was that I was getting a lot of up against the boards, behind the net type hits, with the occasional open ice hit. So I'm like, but we're speaking from the standpoint that we're two people that can go into the game, dissect it, adjust sliders, test it, and show that patience to be able to remedy those things.
Well, and I can also admit, I'm sure I didn't spend enough time experimenting with every single thing that I could to maybe remedy, because really the open ice hits was one of the main things. I'm like, fuck, like when I watch hockey, I don't see all these open ice hits because, quite frankly, the players are too smart to get laid out in the middle of the ice when they see somebody coming.
Right.
And also players more so use the poke check, and they deflect and they kind of get their body in the way. And then if you do get an open ice hit, it's not a flat out lay you out type open ice hit. It's more of a open ice hit where you're kind of just shoving the guy and get him off the puck, which is fine. The issue that pissed me off, just real quick, is the fact that the hit power was also tied to their aggression.
And which I lowered that one too.
Yeah, because the hit power I ended up lowering, which was good, but then you found that they were less aggressive, which I hate how it's tied to. The aggression is partially tied to the hit power. I don't like that. So, this year I'll spend more time trying to figure that out. Obviously, I'm not going to make a fucking slider. Well, I hope I don't have to make a roster. I might, but we'll see what happens. But, just the way FIFA did it a couple years ago where they overhauled their defense, it's so much better now. It's like night and day compared to how the FIFA defense used to be. So I would actually like to see them do something similar to what 2K said they did this year as far as overhauling the defensive AI.
But the thing about that whole thing that set it off for me was when I was doing research about the attribute effects. And when I lowered them, how they played more together.
That's definitely true.
When I found that out and just took a look at that and then applied it, and it was just like, the stars were still being stars, but the thing about hockey is that they mostly played together as a unit. And then they start, like, I was like playing against the Penguins. I know, being a Caps fan, I hate hearing Crosby's name, but Crosby was where he is normally at in a hockey game when I was playing, with the attribute effects at 0.
Yeah,
he was still. He stood out in that game, and he still was able to affect the game because at the end of the day, these stars play team hockey.
And the attribute effects, they did like not only affect how many shots were taken, but you put the attribute effects down to 1 or 0, you're gonna get the puck dumped a lot more, which is another thing that you see a lot in hockey, dumping puck. I still think they need to do it more.
Yes.
But that's why part of me hates how they set up the beta, because I would love to just play against the fucking computer.
That's what I wanted all along, and I only got that chance maybe one time, and that was because after I scored a second goal on one person, they quit. So, but the game didn't stop. So I was just like, it's just my practice time, and I actually got that recorded. So
right.
So at the end of the day, what we're gonna do with NHL? Are we gonna give it a good play, or think we should go ahead and buy it, or whatever the case may be?
EA access to your best friends.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, look, I know what I'm getting with franchise. They've been pushing the envelope with that the past few years. So
I just like the little details that they're talking about, especially with the coaching carousel, something that's not Madden, made by another EA product.
And I saw
EA Canada over Tiburon.
And then interviews, right? I saw somebody talk about.
Yeah, that I want to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is major, but like I said, for me, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna play it. I already know where the game has improved just by playing online. So I really just want to see how the defensive AI has changed for the better, and then it'll probably be automatic buy. I won't say day one, but because I got to pick up Pez, but it'll probably be a purchase later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always interested in NHL. I mean, I think they always put out a good product, so I'm not too worried.
And the commentary is gonna blow you away.
Yeah, that's what DJ said. That was one of the first things that he said about the game, that the commentary is really good.
For some people, that might be worth the purchase.
That commentary when I'm playing the beta, it jumped out at me, and I figured it jumped out at everybody. Now we have some people, they're like, "Oh, I'm tired of this high energy guy." I was like, "Well, yeah, because the last few years I'm like, not saying that Doc and the other guy are low energy, but you're talking about 30 hours of commentary versus 300 this year."
You know what the other thing is, though? I don't think folks that don't watch hockey realize that in regular season games, you're going to get that excitement out of hockey commentators a lot more often than any other sport, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Because of how the sport is played. So many close calls. The puck is moving around so fast. You're going to get that energy because everybody's on edge. There's a chance to score damn near.
It's nervous energy that you hear the commentators go about. In a football game, it's just like, there he goes around the end. And then you see crescendo? Like as to follow the play. I'm like, if Adrian Peterson looks like he's about to break one, your voice is going to go up like, oh, he's around the corner. And there he goes, the 30, the 20, the 10 touchdown. Yeah. Now, like, that's what you expect, but you don't hear that in Madden, basically.
Of course. And that's the thing in hockey. It's like you don't even really have a chance for that because you're on edge the whole time. As soon as somebody breaks away with that puck and he has one guy skating with him, it's like, oh, shit, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen? Oh, what a save. You know what I'm saying? But you're like on edge the whole time.
See, and I was expecting that from Doc. And you got it, but you didn't get it consistently. And he has various versions of his calls that are just great. Oh, Haskins taking off.
Yo, man.
What now? What?
I'm gonna put this in the private chat, man. Let me know if y'all can see this.
And also, here's another thing for anybody complaining about NHL's commentary.
Can y'all see that? Y'all got that?
Oh shit! Hold on. How do I open?
If you can't get it, I'll send it to the DM. If you can't get it, you need to see that, man.
Yeah, send it to them. But anybody complaining about NHL's commentary, you want to see some bad commentary? Go play WWE 2K.
Wait a minute, is he getting beat 44-17?
Who you think getting beat 44-17?
Well, I figure he's probably using Detroit. It was like in real life.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Hold up. First of all, King David says, speaking of commentary, Madden's getting stale. I like the week commentary, but it just doesn't grab you. So I agree. But Mark Rader, this guy's been on record of being terrible at Madden for years.
And terrible at video games.
Yeah, at video games. So if y'all in the chat, y'all can click that Twitter link right there. Y'all can see what we're laughing at. Anyway, Madden
commentary, I don't know. I mean, in franchise, it's amazing. In play down, not so much.
I'm starting to notice a ton of inaccuracies in their commentary. They've been slipping the last couple of years. Last year, they weren't even consistent with the updates. This year, they're just inconsistent on the field.
Yeah.
So I'm a little, they need to.
Yeah, I just cut it down.
Here's one thing. We never got an actual day one patch, did we? Like, we never got a day one patch.
For Madden? No.
So that's what. So this patch in general is going to be interesting. Because everything that didn't come in the day one patch that most games send out, we're most likely going to get now I mean, or whenever they send it out, is going to be like a crazy huge patch. I mean, shit might be fucking 4 gigs
Yeah,
of
right.
shit. So,
Yeah, but let's jump over here to preseason before we go. Yeah, y'all been following the preseason?
I've just been watching it. Well, like I'm watching the Redskins now. Haskins is in the game. Score 6-6. Nothing. Like nobody's really standing out as far as my team is concerned. I'm like they got thrashed last week.
Listen, I'm having more excitement playing my preseason in Madden than I am watching the preseason this year. I just don't have any. There's nothing sticking out. There's nobody standing out. It just seemed like a lot of status quo. The only person I can remotely say that stood out was Daniel Jones because nobody saw that coming.
The issue with preseason, I think, for me is, it seems like the rookies this year are just rookies. Like it's not. You don't have. Well, I mean, Kyler Murray, I guess a little bit, but you don't really have that rookie that is going to play a lot of snaps as a highly touted rookie because these guys are on just load management big time. So, I watched a couple of the preseason games and I'm noticing I'm just like a lot of these top picks. Devin Bush had a pretty good game, but it's inconsistent across the board because these guys aren't getting a lot of playing time. And I'm just really interested in the regular season because a lot of these guys are ready for the NFL right now. And I just want to see what they do against real NFL competition.
Yeah, I mean that's how I'm feeling. It's like, look, I already know. Now, for me, preseason or when I'm playing Madden, I know people gonna say, "Oh, you shouldn't compare the two." It's different for me because it's me. I feel like I'm controlling the team. But me watching on TV, I'm like, I'm ready for week 1.
I will say this: we didn't draft this quarterback high, but God, Stidham played really well in that first Patriots preseason game.
Oh, yeah, I knew Jared Stidham should be a starter in the NFL as a rookie.
You don't tell me he's a Georgia Southern guy.
No, he played at Auburn. He played at Auburn.
I'm gonna say don't.
I watched him play. I watched him play in the SEC. He's actually pretty good.
No, yeah, he's good. And this quarterback that we have, this running back that we have, what the fuck is his name? Shit. Rookie running back that we have, I don't know, he might have been undrafted. He's pretty good too. So we have some decent, rookies. I liked how we looked in the first game.
I like the rookies that the Falcons have as well. I mean, I like what the team is doing, but it's like I'm not.
It's the highly touted rookies that just it hasn't been any excitement.
Yeah, it's just nothing.
You got the Broncos coach still putting his damn foot in his mouth.
I don't want to hear about that. I mean, that dude
is a piece of shit. That's what
he's like killing his quarterback for no reason. Whatever. But no, it's like for me, it's like I like what I see, but it's nothing for me to continue to watch.
Yeah,
I haven't really been watching the preseason because I'm like, okay, I got you. This is what's going on. I like what Daniel Jones did. That's like the only thing that got me intrigued. Is
NBA preseason is gonna be a lot more interesting.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah, especially with Boogie going down.
Boogie went down today with
that motherfucker made of plastic. I'm tired of him.
Yeah, he might want to hang it up, man, because he was like 3 years removed from getting a max deal. And
well, it is other thing. When he got injured, he was the best center in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
The league is starting to pass him by. Like these centers, it's not the same landscape it was at center that it is. Or I should say, yeah, it's not the same landscape it was 3 years ago at center.
You know what?
Now you got Embiid and Jokic and.
Okay, I absolutely believe that because he's like one of the last. You can say his body structure and his skill set is kind of like the old school center type. He does have a jump shot and he can shoot. He got a pretty good range, but he's more valuable in the paint. And the centers now they don't do what he do. So like you said, it is passing him by.
Well, and also it's the fact that if you remember, people were amazed at his ball handling and playmaking ability. Well, shit, I mean, then Jokic came in the league and Embiid came in the league. Ain't nobody impressed no more.
Porzingis.
I mean, and then when you watch DeMarcus Cousins struggle to play pick and roll defense, it's like, fuck, bro. Like, the league's passing you by, dude. You're going to have to find a way to carve. I mean, you weren't healthy when you came back last year. Now you tear your ACL. And that was after cutting weight, and I thought, shit, well, Boogie's getting in shape, and now he tears his goddamn ACL. It's like, bro, it's like one thing after the other.
Yeah, you gotta understand. He tore his Achilles, came back, tore his quad. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
it's pretty bad, man.
I mean, these are all lower extremity injuries.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else y'all got for Boogie? Because I don't have anything else for as far as the podcast.
I want to see. Well, let's talk more about the preseason because I'm interested. Like, well, I mean, we can kind of include in the preseason this team. How do y'all feel about this Olympic squad that was put together? Not Olympic squad, but World Cup team.
You were talking about NBA, right?
Yeah, like for the FIBA World Cup.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think it's pretty cool.
I haven't even checked that out.
I saw a little. I don't know the whole roster, but I think the roster is pretty cool.
So the big talk has been that none of the superstars have really come out to play in this thing, and you know, a lot of people are like really panicking about the U.S. team. Because yeah, like a lot of major stars just pretty much said, you know, they're not showing up. And the U.S. doesn't look its typical strong self. But, you know, I can read the roster to you. Marvin Bagley, Harrison Barnes, Jaylen Brown, De'Aaron Fox, Joe Harris, Kyle Kuzma, Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton, Donovan Mitchell, Mason Plumlee, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, P.J. Tucker, Miles Turner, Kemba Walker, and Derek White.
That is a very weak roster.
So, yeah. So, here's my
compared to other teams, that's a very weak roster.
So my train of thought was, I remember the last World Cup. And I remember that the NBA was a really different landscape back then because Steph wasn't really Steph. Kyrie wasn't really Kyrie. When these dudes showed up and showed out, they were at the point in their career where, say, a Kemba is now. Say, I don't say a Chris Middleton, but a Jason Tatum. They're young, but they were still better than everybody else. I still think this team is better than everybody else, but that just shows the wealth of talent that the U.S. has.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad team. It's just weak compared to what we've seen before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, it's going to be interesting because it's like Kuzma said, when you have the advantage of playing in the FIBA World Cup, once you show up to camp, you're a step ahead of everybody else because you're playing full throttle, you know, basketball, competitive basketball.
Right.
So, we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Anything else you got, DJ?
I got nothing else. I'm sitting there looking at this the leak, the Wizards Clippers 5v5 gameplay full first quarter, or at least the 6-minute variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that right now. And just,
how do y'all feel about the teams that they
the historic teams?
Yeah.
I wish they had the Jordan-led Wizards in there, but I'm fine with the Gilbert Arenas, Anton Jameson, and Caron Butler-led Wizards.
I've been waiting for them to put that team in because that was one of my favorite teams, like when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
They just had 3 guys that could just score the basketball. You know, Gilbert Arenas, who didn't like Gilbert Arenas back then? So
apparently Javaris Critton.
Oh yeah, well that guy. But I mean, I think what the issue is for me, I want to know how fully licensed these teams are, because they put in a couple of these Spurs teams that have barely any licensing. And the 2014 Spurs squad should have most of its licensing because those players were just recently in the NBA. But some of these other teams, the licensing is lacking, bro. I mean, I can understand the teams in the 1960s, but God, you got the Golden State team that upset the Mavericks in the first round, and you have barely any players licensed. It's not good.
Right.
There's no point. I'm more worried. I won't say I'm more worried. I'm more interested in the decade teams that they put in because I think those are going to be fun to use.
I think they're interesting. I like the fact that they got them in. A lot of people could play with some of the legends. And the teams I saw, they look pretty good for the most part. I didn't see anything out of the way.
They just
That
didn't show the rosters, unfortunately. They just showed the top 5. Then they're asking, do you think we're missing anybody? I'm like, motherfuckers only starting 5. Like, show the whole team if you're going to ask if we're missing anybody.
Right.
But, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. In the coming weeks, coming days, all that's going to come out, especially 2K demos coming out, and then the actual game will be out in less than a month.
I just hope they have that practice mode that they most times have, because that's where I'll be spending my bulk of time in there. I know they had an issue last year with creating more than one my player.
Right.
So that wasn't really worth it. They haven't really talked too much about my player in general, like what the story is going to be and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I just want to see how the game plays and all the improvements that they put in. You could really get a good indication of that in the practice mode, so hopefully it's back in this year. That's about it, honestly, until the full game comes out.
Right.
All right, so I guess that's going to be a close for episode 79.
This shit was short.
It does feel like it was short.
We're hitting that stretch. We're hitting that stretch run as far as like just waiting for these other games to come out. I'm like, you can only drag Madden, but so far.
Yeah,
especially when they haven't put a patch out.
Don't tell some people that they drag the shit out of Madden.
They dedicate their whole life.
Right.
I want you to dedicate yours.
Episode 79, man. Once again, myself, Bills, DJ. Sports and sports gaming is what we do. I'm going to say this real quick so DJ won't cry. Come through and listen to us on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can subscribe there. That helps us, get more recognition on that end. And
you know what? I know why this episode was short. Non-skippable ads.
You can also get intro if you want to use the intro for your videos, and you can also use them for live streams as well. The link in the description to help you out to get discounts. Any other last words you got before we go?
Hold on a second. Do you work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Never mind.
Wow. What's up, man?
I mean, I was gonna find a way to kind of extend this, but fuck it. You work tomorrow. So
well, I'm off next Friday, so.
All right.
I think
we ain't got to extend it then either. Shit.
I do have one more thing, and I just want to throw this out there because I wrote this down earlier. As far as franchise modes in all the sports gaming currently, your best are NBA 2K, MLB The Show, NHL. Your mixed bag, FIFA, PES. You can describe it whatever. It can be without, hapless, poor, lacking, or live in Madden NFL. So.
Whoa, wait. Okay. There's a couple of things I disagree with. I think PES can go in that category with live. I think Madden can actually move up one.
Nope.
Where the serviceable one is, because then you can put FIFA up higher. And Madden could be the only... Yeah, because FIFA's career mode is way better than Madden's, but Madden isn't bottom of the barrel the way live is. It's a step above live. I mean, come on. You couldn't even edit players in live.
Man, people weren't getting injured in live initially until I kept crying about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think Madden's a step above that. So I'll put PES in that shitty category. I'll put Madden in the middle of the road, close to garbage, but not quite garbage. And I would actually put FIFA, and I'll put it up there with NHL and 2K, because FIFA's actually amazing.
Yeah, and then from Madden, I also wrote down 2 other things why I put it in that category, and 2 sets of fan bases are gonna get mad.
What the hell?
The gameplay first mentality and mud with the microtransactions.
Oh.
Those are the 2 reasons why that franchise mode is where it's at. So
yeah, can we get past that gameplay first shit? Like, this ain't 2011. I'm sorry. It's not. We should be past that by now.
Right. But that's all I had. That's all I wanted to throw out there. I had it written down in front of me. I wanted to bring it up at some point.
Fucking, I got to put this poll in there. Hold on. All right, so everybody listening right now.
Hold on, time out. Put the poll on your Twitter. And let them
that. I want a real-time goddamn poll.
I'm dead serious. you'll get more people to respond to it.
Yeah, but let him advertise it. Just because we don't, he
No,
doesn't have an
no.
unskippable ad like you do.
He wasn't about to advertise no damn poll. He was about to put the poll in for these 10 people.
I wasn't gonna type
He was
it
gonna
in.
do
I was
both.
gonna ask a quick question and see who answered. God damn, VF.
I done did the
Man.
outro and y'all.
If it was a poll about your favorite Georgia Southern player,
I would have done it before the outro. I did it, but I done did the outro. And y'all still got stuff going on.
Man, whatever. So, like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. I'm gonna put a poll out for y'all right now, but basically, I'm trying to figure out what team I want to use in franchise, and I had 5 teams in mind. So anybody who's listening, just real time, just give me some quick fire responses. The teams were, I would use the Bills, Texans, Broncos, Seahawks, or Bears. So y'all can type in which ones you want. VF, DJ can give any input about maybe what team would be the best. I'm trying to do one that's not too OP, honestly. That's why I picked who I did.
I would say the Bears.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Bears. VF?
Do the Bills because your name is Bills.
That's predictable. I don't know. I think I've always hated the Broncos, but I kind of like what their team's looking like this year. I don't know. Bills, okay. Broncos. All right, so I mean, yeah, I'll put the poll up on my Twitter, but I just wanted some results now and see what people thought.
Right.
Now you can close it out, VF.
All right, cool.
Jesus.
Cool. Next Thursday, 7:30. Y'all know what to find us at.
Wow.
80.
Wow, hold on. That's the worst. What was that?
I wasn't done.
Yeah, but goddamn. I mean, that's
I'm just saying. They
a
know.
horrible way to enter into it.
That was
Yeah, y'all know where to find us.
Right, they know where to
Very
find us. Right.
flaccid outro.
Right.
What the fuck?
Meet us at the same time next week. Whole ass niggas.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh, Jesus.
same time next week, 7:30. More topics. Hopefully, some more IMV gaming shit come out.
Nah, I don't think they're dropping that lawsuit. We know what the deal is.
I don't put nothing past them clowns.
Fake ass lawsuit for a non-existent game.
Well, I can tell y'all we will have impressions on the, I guess, prelude, whatever the fuck they're calling it this year. Demo.
2K, yeah, the 2K. They actually called it a demo this time.
Maybe something in preseason will happen. We haven't really spoken about the fact that none of these running backs out here getting paid, but I guess we'll touch on that next week.
Trent Williams is still a holdout.
I don't blame him not one bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zeke, Melvin Gordon, who else? Zeke, Melvin Gordon, and there's one other guy that's holding out.
Those are the only 2 I know, and
Antonio Brown. But his isn't so much with the team; it's more so with the NFL.
Well, he came back.
Yeah,
so
he
came back. So yeah.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, he's a nutcase as well. I mean, the stuff he's talking about is like, all right.
I don't know, bro. That helmet thing, I kind of side with him on that.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't side with him or not. It's just it's left field shit. It's like, dog. Like,
well, I think it was left field for them to tell him that the shit wasn't certified to be used anymore too. So that's why it's left field.
This shit is all jacked up. Just go catch some footballs. All right. Well,
peace.
All right, peace.
Oh, some